While we were sitting and watching the young leopard in the tree, this pride of lions came down to drink.
This might be the greatest wildlife experience I've had in Southern Africa, and it all happened in just 4 days.
I'm sure it's going to be a good day. How can you have a bad day here?
Chobe National Park covers quite a large area of northern Botswana, and in this video we explore the section along the Chobe River, which forms the border between Botswana and Namibia.
I'm currently at Ihaha campsite in the Chobe National Park. Behind me is the Chobe River, which forms the boundary between Botswana and Namibia. And we'll be camping here for the next few nights, my dad and I. We're very excited about this. We've been here a few times before, so we sort of know our way around. And we're expecting to see some good things over the next few days. There is some bad weather approaching down there, but there's also some general game feeding alongside the river with some elephants. So hopefully no rain tonight. As always, I'll be filming as much wildlife as possible over the next few days. Hope you guys enjoy the video. We were a little bit worried when we arrived. It looked like rain was approaching, but we immediately set out on a game drive and headed east towards Serendela picnic site, where we found these lions. What a start to our time here at Chobe Riverfront.
As we found the lions, the rain set in. We hadn't seen any on the previous leg of our Botswana trip. We had only heard them calling to one another. This is what the Chobe National Park is all about. What a sighting, hey Dad? A few lions made their way further down the river, while others remained behind, calling into the dense vegetation. After about a minute, the rest of the pride came down to greet them.
Very special. We were hoping for lions, and we got them on our first game drive. After seeing none at Kwa, very special. Listen to the thunder. Such strange weather for this time of year. Late September, usually there's no rain around, but very nice compared to the heat that we've had over the last few days here in Botswana.
The rain really picked up, and by the time we got back to the camp, we sat in the vehicle for over an hour waiting for the storm to pass.
Welcome to our first morning here next to the Chobe River. The rain came down pretty badly last night between 6 and 7:30, and when we got back to the campsite after seeing those lions, we could see everyone strapping down their tents and getting ready for the storm. There was even a small river flowing through our campsite because we're on a slight decline here, but it's all over now and it looks like things will clear up this morning. There's no rain in sight, it's just a little bit overcast. We're going to take a short drive now towards where we saw those lions by the Serendela picnic site and see what else we can see along the river. We've been driving for about 10 minutes from Ihaha campsite, and just out in the distance towards Namibia, about 1,000 pelicans. There's so many, and they just took off now and settled in a different location a few hundred meters down the river. And this is what the Chobe Riverfront is known for. Loads of game and a lot of variety.
It didn't take long for the massive herd of buffaloes to make their way across the floodplain towards the thicker vegetation away from the river. Only once they surrounded the vehicle did we truly understand just how many there were. We then saw one of the most brightly coloured birds in the region, the southern carmine bee-eater.
We just passed Serendela picnic site now. After seeing all those buffalo come back and cross the road, there must have been easily 1,000 of them, a massive herd. And now we're sitting at a leopard sighting, but it's fast asleep under quite a dense bush. It's not the easiest of view, but we're waiting it out to see if it gets up and does something. Hopefully it does. Hopefully the patience is rewarded, but it does look like it's fast asleep. And things are starting to heat up now. The sun is trying to get out from behind the clouds. We'll see what happens.
Because of the abundance of wildlife along the Chobe River, food is plentiful and scavengers thrive. At this carcass, a marabou stork joined a black-backed jackal along with a committee of white-backed vultures.
We weren't waiting at that leopard too long, only about 45 minutes before we stopped, had breakfast at Serendella picnic site, and it's been really warm since then. We made a U-turn at Sadudu Gate and saw a nice barn owl on the wooden beams supporting the roof. The first barn owl I've been able to get on film this trip. We've seen a few flying past at Kwai, but nothing that sat still in front of the camera. And we've come back down and joined the Riverfront route. There's nice hippos here in the water, and we passed some elephants and huge herds of impala. No, it's really special here. And so much going on, so much life. Wherever you look, there's an animal. We've come back to the spot where we saw the leopard earlier. It's changed its location and we're currently waiting for it to get up and move around. The temperature has dropped a lot compared to when we were here earlier, but still no action this side.
As we dropped down to drive alongside the river, we came across this female lion who had just finished drinking. She was alone and we suspected that the rest of her pride were nearby. Every afternoon we spent in Chobe National Park, we saw lions coming down to the river. Only a short distance from the camp we were able to spot a young leopard high up in the tree besides the river. We all enjoyed the last few moments of light together before heading back into the campsite.
We just got back to our campsite and we're going to have a braai and settle down for the evening. You can hear all the frogs calling from the river behind me. It's incredibly loud. Today was a long day. We spent a lot of time in the car and only got out twice at Sadudu Gate and in the morning at Serendella picnic site to have breakfast. Spent a lot of time being really optimistic, but it was a good day. We saw lots. It was one of quantity and not the highest quality until right at the end when we had that female lion who looked like she had just finished with her drink when we arrived at the scene. And when we were making our way back to Ahaha, that leopard at the top of the tree, really unexpected sightings. So special. And just driving around here, my dad and I have been reminiscing of our previous trip a few years ago when the two of us did something similar to what we're doing now. And it's been really good. Good morning, guys. It's our second morning here at Ihaha campsite, and the frogs from last night have stopped calling and the white-browed robin chat has taken over, and it's a beautiful morning. The sky is clear. It's not a breath of wind. It's stayed still. I'm sure it's going to be a good day. How can you have a bad day here? We came back here to where we saw the leopard yesterday afternoon, high at the top of the tree, and it's still here, a few hundred meters east, in another tree of where we sighted it yesterday. Incredible. It's in a tree overlooking the Chobe River. There's francolin, guinea fowl, and all sorts of birds. We even saw a night heron now flying to its roosting spot. Incredible.
Dad, look, the lions. Chobe just kept on surprising us, and this pride that we had already seen a few times decided to join us while we were looking at the leopard. Some sightings are unforgettable, and this was definitely one of them.
While we were sitting and watching the young leopard in the tree, this pride of lions came down to drink. Just females and cubs and sub-adults. Incredible stuff. And we were the only car when it was all happening. Really, we can't believe it. It's incredible. Very special morning, and just so close to Ihaha, about 1.5 k's.
After having a long drink, the pride made their way back up the riverbank and into the sheltered vegetation where they would spend the rest of the day.
Hey Dad, special. It's good.
We couldn't believe the morning we were having. Just minutes after the pride of lions drank from the Chobe River, we found the beautiful leopardess resting in the acacia tree. We saw her for less than 30 seconds before she decided to climb down and then make her way through the thickets. And suddenly it felt like there were leopards everywhere.
Oh, we've had a special morning, guys. That leopard now, that just got out of the acacia tree when we arrived, she walked for a bit, rested behind a termite mound, and then went underneath a caper bush. That seems to be the standard thing here in the Chobe Riverfront. The predators, because there's not many big trees, the only things are these caper bushes. No shade, just caper bushes. But there is quite a large amount of that sort of vegetation here. We've just arrived here at Serendela picnic site. It's a beautiful spot next to the Chobe River, very close to the other side in Namibia, only about 250 meters, maybe even less.
As the heat of the day set in, we realized we hadn't traveled far. There had just been too many good sightings, and we slowly made our way back to the camp to wait out the heat. We were lucky to see this rowan antelope, which is an uncommon sight in many of the parks across southern Africa, and it's not a species we've seen often. With the heavy rain from our first night, there were still pools of water along the road, which provided a welcome drink for this giraffe. If you're enjoying the video, check out my website richardvanhuck.com, where I offer products like car door mounts and wildlife videography courses. You can also support the channel on Patreon. And a huge thank you to everyone who already supports the channel. It's your support that makes videos like this possible.
We just got back to the campsite now and it was an eventful morning. 2 leopard sightings, and we even managed to see another male and female lion on our way back here. Unfortunately, didn't get any footage. They were quite far off, but we'll definitely go back there this afternoon. It was really close to where we saw the young leopard in the tree and all those lions having a drink earlier this morning. So we're gonna have a braai now. Last night it was just a bit hectic with all the bugs. I think after the rain a few nights ago, everything has come out the cracks. It was really unpleasant trying to eat with thousands of bugs flying around the campsite. We won't go too far this afternoon. I think in total the furthest was that second leopard, which was about 3.5 k's away. So it's going to be a short and slow drive this afternoon. We've been seeing plenty of southern carmine bee-eaters, a beautifully colored bird which migrates within Africa, and they head here to the Chobe River to make their nests in the embankment during the summer months. And a few flocks have arrived early here at the end of September, beginning of October. It's always special to see these guys. When we saw the carmine bee-eaters on the drive here, we knew immediately that we were heading in the right direction. We're driving here along the river from Ihaha campsite, and we found the 2 lions that we saw earlier on our way back to the camp. Fortunately, they're lying here out in the open. Earlier they were behind some bushes and resting in the shade. Some more lions? Further down? You sure? My dad's just spotted some lions further down the river, and can see game viewers making their way there as well.
Just before we arrived back at the campsite, we spotted this African wildcat, the first one of the whole trip, and we were lucky to enjoy such good views of a confident individual. Throughout our stay at Ihaha, we noticed plenty of these velvet geckos at the campsite bathroom.
Morning guys, it's a little bit cold this morning. The wind came up a few hours ago and it's been blowing ever since. And during the night I set up a few trail cameras around the camp, hoping to catch some wildlife walking through. But unfortunately nothing on the cameras the last 3 nights. And there are 3 trail cameras I've put at the front of the car and 2 at the back. I think the wildlife, when it passes by, it takes a route closer down to the river or higher up. Doesn't seem like anything is passing directly through the camp. But it's just gone 10 to 6 now, and we're going to head out on a game drive. Probably come back to the camp at around 11:30, 12 o'clock. We've just seen the same pride of lions from yesterday. They're about 400 meters from the campsite, much closer than they were yesterday, and the closest they've been since we've been staying at Ihaha. And we thought they might be hungry, so we waited around for about 20 minutes to see if they'd get up and move. But we decided to carry on, and only about 300 meters further down the riverfront, we found another 2 lions feeding on a carcass. We can't make out what it is, but we think that the whole pride must have been feeding here before making their way down that side, further west. There are a lot of lions here. I've lost count of how many lion sightings we've had over the last 3 nights.
And wherever there are predators, they are often closely followed by scavengers. Watching this massive herd of buffalo cross the Chobe River from Namibia into Botswana was a highlight of the trip. We were convinced the crocodiles would try their luck, and although they came in for a closer look, they never made a move.
It's just gone 10 o'clock now and we arrived here at Serendela picnic site where we're going to have some breakfast. It's been a quiet morning other than that lion sighting first up about 300 meters from Ihaha campsite. The wind has come up, so it's been pretty quiet. And here at the picnic site there really are some naughty monkeys, so if you stop by here, watch out for them.
Something that has always stood out when visiting the Chobe National Park is the sheer abundance and variety of wildlife. From massive herds of game to an incredible range of bird species, there is life everywhere. We headed back to the camp during the heat of the day and set up the shade. I took the opportunity to do some washing, and in unfenced camps like this you quickly learn to stay alert. Every sound behind you demands your attention.
We've been here at Ihaha campsite for the last few hours, sitting out the heat of the day and out on the plains in front of the camp between the river and the campsite. There's so much general game. Kudus have come past. It's incredible to see, and we also haven't heard an owl or seen an owl yet during our last 3 nights. I remember when we were here 4 years ago, we only saw one pearl-spotted owlet, but this trip, no owls.
Look at all the pelicans.
We're on an afternoon game drive now and we're heading east from the camp. We're on the Nyanga Drive and we've seen a huge flock of pelicans here. Definitely the most we've seen in one flock together. There must be over 1,000 birds. And while we were at the campsite having a braai, a few birds flew over and you could hear them cutting through the air. And yeah, they've definitely come and landed here. This is the same male and female that we saw at the beginning and the end of our drive yesterday afternoon. They're still hanging out together. It's 4:30 now and you can see just how hot it is. They aren't moving at all. Probably get active in an hour or so when things cool down much more. The wind has settled and the heat has really pulled through.
These 2 lions were particularly lazy. We saw them a few times during our stay and spent quite a bit of time with them. The big male got up on a few occasions, but the female hardly moved at all. Eventually the temperature started to drop and all the animals in the area began making their way down to the river.
We're just cruising up and down now where we saw the leopard yesterday morning. A few cars managed to see it yesterday afternoon. We weren't so lucky, but we're hoping and thinking that it'll get active this afternoon after the windy morning. Not much was moving around this morning. I think everything was lying low, keeping its head out the wind. It also was quite cold until about 9 o'clock.
Dad, do you see it?
As we were scanning the vegetation between this road that we're on and the road that runs along the riverside, we saw that young male leopard underneath the caper bush. Really difficult to follow as he moves in and out, rests behind a bush, keeps moving. But we just parked back where we saw him for the first time and we're hoping to relocate him. Unbelievable stuff, and it's just gone 25 past 6, so we're nearly out of time, but unbelievable stuff, truly special. Probably the best leopard sighting that we've had while we've been staying here at Ihaha.
We spotted the leopard again on a game trail between 2 bushes. and we thought it might make a move on an unsuspecting scrub hare. We waited for about 5 minutes, but it wasn't interested, and we eventually had to head back to the camp.
"30 seconds before we saw that leopard, I said to my dad that even if we don't get to see one now, just looking for one is so exciting, and really just the best ending to our trip and our stay here at Ihaha. We saw far more animals, far more big cats than we could have anticipated, and really just to spend these days on safari with my dad are so special. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me know what you thought about it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.